faces rejection and failure. Every single one of us. No man is immune to the sting of rejection or the weight of failure. Whether it's a job we didn't get, a relationship that didn't work out, or a dream that didn't come true, we've all been there. And I know many of you, my brothers, have felt this deeply. You've poured your heart and soul into something, only to see it crumble before your eyes. But remember, it's not just you. Every man at some point stands at the crossroads of defeat. What do rejection and failure mean for us as men? Society often tells us that we need to be strong, stoic, and invincible. But when rejection hits, when failure strikes, it can feel like the world is telling us we're not good enough, that we're not man enough. It's a crushing blow to the ego, to our sense of self-worth. But here's the thing, rejection and failure aren't the end. They're signals, messages that we're pushing our boundaries, striving for more, and growing in the process. When do these moments hit the hardest? Often it's when we're most vulnerable, when we've dared to dream big or opened ourselves up to something new. It's in those quiet moments when the world slows down and we're left alone with our thoughts. The late night reflections, the early morning doubts, the times when we feel the weight of our perceived failures pressing down on us. Those are the moments when rejection cuts the deepest. Where do we feel the effects of rejection and failure the most? It's not just in the public spaces where others might see our setbacks. It's in the privacy of our minds, in our hearts, and in our spirits. It's when we're alone in our rooms, replaying conversations, or imagining different outcomes. It's in those sacred spaces where we wrestle with our demons, where we question our paths and our worth. Why is it crucial to handle rejection and failure like a man? Because how we respond defines us far more than the rejection or failure itself. Rejection isn't a reflection of our worth, but a part of life's natural process of refinement. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone to it. We handle it because it's part of our journey to becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient men. How do we handle rejection and failure like a man? Let me tell you the story of one of the greatest basketball players of all time, Michael Jordan. But this isn't a story of his countless victories or the championships he won. It's about the rejection and failure that shaped him into the legend we know today. The rejection. Michael Jordan, in his sophomore year of high school, was passionate about basketball. He had dreams of making it to the varsity team. But when the list was posted, his name wasn't on it. Jordan was cut from the team. Imagine the rejection, the humiliation, and the disappointment he must have felt. He could have given up, accepted that he wasn't good enough. But Jordan decided to handle this rejection in a way that would define his future. Lesson 1. Acknowledge the pain. Jordan went home and cried. He didn't hide his emotions or pretend he wasn't affected. He allowed himself to feel the pain of rejection. Acknowledging the hurt made it real, but it also made his resolve stronger. Lesson 2. Use rejection as fuel. Instead of letting this rejection crush him, Jordan used it as fuel. He resolved to work harder, to prove that he belonged on that team. He practiced every day, sometimes for hours, pushing his limits and honing his skills. Lesson 3. Take responsibility and improve. Jordan didn't blame the coach or his circumstances. He took responsibility for his own growth. He understood that, to succeed, he needed to be better. This self-awareness and accountability were critical in transforming him from a rejected player into a relentless competitor. Lesson 4. Stay resilient. Jordan's resilience was unmatched. He returned to tryouts the next year, and this time he made the varsity team. His rejection had set him on a path of discipline and perseverance that would carry him throughout his career. Lesson 5. Learn from every setback. Even after making the team, Jordan's journey wasn't without challenges. He faced countless setbacks, losses, and missed shots. But each failure was a lesson, a stepping stone toward improvement. He famously said, "I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Michael Jordan's story is a powerful reminder that rejection and failure are not the end, they're the beginning. They are opportunities to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. How we respond to these moments defines who we are. In conclusion, handling rejection and failure like a man means facing them head-on, learning from them, and using them as motivation to push forward. Like Michael Jordan, we must let rejection fuel our determination, taking every setback as a challenge to rise higher. Rejection is not a verdict on your abilities, but a call to action to become better. Brothers, handling rejection and failure isn't about avoiding pain. It's about understanding that every setback is setting us up for a greater comeback. It's about being resilient, being patient with ourselves, and knowing that our worth isn't defined by a single event, but by how we rise after we fall.